Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the episode of Stock Market Review with Luwep Trading. Coach Lord is here, and as you guys know, every single night we get down right into the charts, man. This is what we're going to do as usual. If you are here, I want to welcome you and thank you for being here. Make sure to smash the like button. Give me a thumbs up. Give me something. I'm always going to ask you that. This is the only thing that I need from you guys. I need that engagement because this is how the channel keep growing. And for those of you guys who have been doing that, big thanks to you guys. I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. So today was an interesting day, right? We didn't know what to expect, so we had an ultimatum. As you guys see, exactly what happened, what I put on the in the thumbnail. So we had an ultimatum. It was supposed to be for today at 8 p.m. today. Um, then it was now pushed. So now we have a 24-hour ultimatum. There's a lot writing on this. Personally, I don't think anything's going to happen, right? And the reason being, it actually came out. The reason we had that ultimatum was simply because Trump really thought we were going to have a deal. Because some people were saying they were getting close, there was a chance to get something done. So he really wanted to have a deal, which would be great for all of us. All right, regardless of how you feel about this war, whether you think it's illegal, whatever, warranted, whatever, whether you support it or against it, it would benefit all of us to see an end to this. Because at the end of the day, this is something that's going to hurt every single person. Right now, diesel is nearly $8 per gallon. And if diesel is $8 per gallon, guess what happens? Truck drivers are not going to assume the entire loss. They're going to pass on that cost to everybody, right? And all of that trickles down into the stuff we consume on a daily basis. All right. So every single trader on Wall Street right now, if you look at the market, if you're in the market, we pretty much we gapped up. When the market just opened, it seesawed and whatever. Then, as usual, I told you guys this was going to happen. Guess what? Axios, this is our favorite news pretty much company. So they reached out to newspaper, they reached out to Axios and said we were quote unquote close to a deal. So therefore, again, the algos fine. The algos found exactly what they needed, so we were close to a ceasefire, a 45-day ceasefire. The algos went in, they just ran in and buy and pushed the market up. And then as it comes down to the afternoon, where it's like, well, this is not going to happen or anything like that, and all we saw was the market just pretty much consolidate the entire day. Today was one of those days. It was almost a no trade day for me for most of the day. I was not able to really find something, which was a very short, very quick sniper like play until around like 3:30 p.m., 3:45 p.m. So today was really one of those days that was slow. If you are day trading, um, it didn't really give much opportunities unless you have a strategy that incorporates, like range trading. So just buying at support, regardless whether or not you see there's a pattern or not. It gets to support, you buy, or it gets to resistance, you short it. That's the only way you could have taken advantage today. All right. What else we got going on, guys? Oil is spiking. If we look at USO, we'll take a quick look at it. Oil is spiking right now. We are nearly $115 per barrel right now on oil. And guys, we may not be feeling all of this effect right now, but eventually we will feel it. All right, because right now all the gas, natural gas and oil, everything that's coming through right now, these are things that was already on the way and getting here. So right now we are not really experiencing the shortage right now. You already have a lot of companies not companies, I mean countries, a lot of different countries are rationing oil right now. Whether it's cutting back on uh, um, whether it's cutting back on number of the work week for work days, going to 4 days instead of 5 days, or school days going to 4 days, maybe 2 days remote, things like that. There's a few countries that's really encouraging people to walk, take public transit, and ride bikes, and avoid driving at all costs, because these are all things they're trying to do to see if they can control these things. James and Empire Path, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you again, once again. You guys are literally, I think you you guys are the best supporters, some of the best supporters I can ask for. You, not only you guys are always here, you guys like, you commented, and everything, you engage with the channel, and really want to say that that means a lot. If you don't, it doesn't mean I don't appreciate you being here, but I want you to get more involved. All right, I want you to get a little bit more involved. You always free to ask questions. You can always ask questions. There's no issue there. All right, got nothing else here. Cool. So, well, there's a couple of other things happening right now. Again, this is technically Q1 is over, so we are going into Q2 right now, and it is heavy. Just a reminder, once again, we have a FOMC meeting coming up. We have CPI data. So all those inflation data will be dropping toward the end of the week. It is a big week. All right, it is a big, big week. So we're just gonna have to wait and just see how things are going on. Um, another thing I want you guys to really, really pay attention to. I'm starting to see a lot of analysts putting things about calling maybe the market might drop to the S&P 500 might go to 6,000. So they talking about maybe another 10%, 5 to 10% drop from current levels. Um, and that sort of started to make me feel like, because those guys like to play mind game with us, right? So what they do is they put these things, freak out retail traders, and you do one thing while their investment portion of that company is taking advantage and buying at the low. But anyway, while we are here, what we're going to do is focus on the chart. This is what we do here. We are going to translate what the chart is telling us. All right, guys. All right, now time to get right into it. Now, I want to show you guys just real quick to see what's going on with the futures market. This is the S&P 500. That's the S&P 500 futures. You guys can see what's going on. This is where we are. We pretty much stay. This is where we were all day, and right now it seems like we're dropping a little bit. I'm not going to cover that too much. So let's get into what we typically review here, which is the SPY. Still the S&P 500, but that is the SPY. Let's clean up the chart a little bit, all right? Because that's going to make that chart look way too, like, a bit too busy, too much. It's a little too much for us. There you go. Perfect. Perfect. All right, cool. Now, this is the thing I've been talking to you guys about, right? So I'm going straight to the 4 hour time frame. What did we have in the 4 hour time frame? I showed you guys, say, hey, this is where we are. We might go straight to that trend line. What did we do? We went directly to that trend line. This is exactly where we are. All right, that's what we did today. We went to the trend line. We were here yesterday, and we just went right to the trend line. So, again, today, I will be honest with you guys. I would have loved to short it. I would have loved to come here and tell you guys, hey, you know what? I took a short position because, again, one thing I always talk about is the path of least resistance. But as of right now, I didn't, guys. It's unfortunate. I didn't. And I think this is a good setup from where it is. Why didn't I do it? I realized I did not have a short position very late. By the time I tried to go get my short position, the market closed. I didn't have time to put it on. That is a sad, sad state. But this is what we are looking at once again. This is the 4 hour time frame. What we are seeing here is a rejection. All right, that is a rejection. What we are seeing here. Again, it's not a perfect pattern yet. We're just seeing the first candle in the 4 hours, and as we dig in, you guys are going to see exactly what we're looking at. Let's go in the 2 hour time frame now. 2 hours. is almost trying to build some sort of you guys can see it like once you get to here, this is all we did today. We did not do much today. We just consolidated early in the morning, very, very early. We popped. I guess you're going to be able to see that in the 30 minutes. But this is what we're doing. That trend line is not letting it pass. Some of you guys might think these three candles here would represent an evening star, but it's not. All right. Now, why is it not? I have always tell you guys, and if for to have an evening star, I think I talked about that the other day. We would have that candle, that specific candle would have to close at least 50% of this bullish candle. So how do we close maybe like here? This would have been great setup. Great. I mean, that's showing a rejection, no doubt. That's showing a rejection, right? But if we had an evening star right there, I would have told you, hey, you know what? These are the kind of plays you don't want to miss. You want to go in heavy on because, hey, that's giving us an idea. Now, before I move on and drilling, you guys know how I like to drilling into those charts. Let's look at this is exactly, again, what we are doing. This is the move I was getting you guys prepared for yesterday, right? This looks like it's about to do that, which would be a lower high in the MACD. This is, if that happens, we're most likely going to have a nice little drop. All right, that will give us a nice little drop. Again, when you're trading, when you're reading charts, you cannot just take one thing, in a vacuum, right? You have to look at the bigger picture. You have to have multiple points to give you an idea what may be happening. Remember yesterday I told you guys, hey, it seems like, path of least resistance, I would put that at a 50-50 and so on. I don't know if we're going to break or if we're not. But as of right now, based on what I'm looking at, again, in the 2 hour time frame, which I just showed you guys, what I'm looking at right now, this, I would say, the probability of us dropping tomorrow is a lot higher. Why? Because you guys are seeing the rejection at the trend line. We didn't touch the trend line yet. When we had our the live yesterday, we didn't have the trend line yet, but now we do. Not only we do it, we are seeing the rejection. Now, let's go in the 30 minutes. See what the 30 minutes is giving us. Now, this is what's interesting, right? Let me move this out of the way a little bit. This is what is interesting. What pattern are you guys seeing here? Again, I keep imploring you guys, those patterns, if you mess with me, right? If you mess with me and you hear all the time, even if it's just 2, 3 days, because almost every day I talk about those patterns. Soon as I pull this up, you should see it, right? What we are seeing here is a left shoulder, head, a right lower shoulder that's being formed. So we have a head and shoulders pattern being formed right at resistance level or the trend line. So the trend line is resistance, it is dynamic resistance. That's what a trend line is. But we also have this red line, which is an horizontal resistance level. So we have a confluence right here on a dynamic resistance with the trend line and horizontal resistance with the trend line. And on top of that, you're getting a bearish candlestick pattern being formed, and we're getting rejection right at resistance level. All that is telling us what? All that is telling us we're possibly getting primed for a drop. Right now, again, there's a lot writing on what happens tomorrow, right? So we're just going to see the shrimp come out tomorrow once again and do a bit of a taco, which would be great. Trust me. Taco, I welcome taco right now. I mean, after all, it will be Tuesday. you know, it's Taco Tuesday. I would welcome that. James, you are absolutely right. This is a head and shoulder pattern. I would welcome that. Why? I keep telling you guys, no matter how you feel about this war, it is not beneficial to us. All right, it is not been. We already started paying the cost for that. All right, if you are trying to buy a home, you already have home prices rising, right? So there's a lot of things, that's happening, and we need to be aware of that. And by the way, I need to let you guys know that I saw. So today I saw one of those memes today. And it is true. I'm not gonna lie, it is true. When it was not a meme, more like a bit of a skit. Like if you are worried about the stock market going down, about the economy crashing, and all this kind of stuff, that means you are in a good position. All right. So consider yourself. Well, I wouldn't say lucky because we all work hard. So if you are worried, just understand you are speaking from a privileged sort of like point of view. What this is what I mean by that. For some of you, it may be, well, you know what? If the market drop, it's not a problem. If the housing market drop, maybe it will finally give you an opportunity to buy a home, right? If you save for it and whatever, maybe that will you'll finally be able to buy a home. Maybe you'll finally be able to buy a car. Maybe you'll find able to do certain things. Maybe you miss the big move in the stock market, and maybe you'll finally be able to actually buy some long dated stuff, open up for a Roth IRA, things like that. You know what I mean? So every single time these things happen, I want you guys to understand it is also an opportunity. It's all about what exactly are you able to do. Let me not just say what you are going to do, because you may not have the finances, right? So this is why I need you guys to be prepared. If you can right now is the time. Tax season is coming. I would highly encourage you guys, if you already have a car, if you can live without a car, do not just put your hopes on, I'm going to get my tax money and I'm going to use it as deposit on a new car. Why am I saying that? Because the stock market seems like it's getting prime and ready to give you an opportunity, right? This is getting ready to give you an opportunity. All these drop all these drop. Oh, I think my light just went off for a quick minute. All these drop that happens, and this just got higher. Let me just adjust that just a little bit. So, all these drop that happens, it's an opportunity that you guys are going to get, right? You get to buy the stocks you love at a very cheap price. I'm not talking about just jumping in and buy meme stuff that, hey, that has some potential, companies that are not profitable or anything like that. Those companies on bad times, those companies get hit. They get hit the hardest. What you need to look after is profitable companies with growing revenue. So there's growth there. They are profitable, and you want to jump on those when they are down. Specifically, if you see them down 20, 30, 40%, it is a good time to get in and get something, because guess what? Those companies will always do something. More often than not, say the company like Apple, they always have a ton of money on hand. When their stocks drop so much, one of the things those companies like to do is they do stock buybacks. If you're not familiar with a stock buyback, so let's say, so what they do pretty much, they buy a lot of their own stock, which creates higher demand because now it's rare, right? There's not as many stocks available, so the supply has been decreased, so the demand actually goes up, which push the price up. Those guys will always find a way to push the stock prices up. That's what they do. So when they drop, and they drop a lot, I need you guys to go just get on your game, just rub your hands together and say, "Hey, I'm about to get something." Right? Again, only reputable and profitable companies. Only. All right, no cannabis stock, no. This thing is going to be the next best thing, and it has promise. Trust me, I've made those mistakes before. All right, I can tell you from experience. I have made the bad experience on your behalf, so that way I can tell you, don't do that. Don't do that. I have the scars to prove it. Don't do that. Find profitable companies and just buy. I want you guys to think about something, right? Um, Actually, there's two opportunities we just had. When the COVID happened, the stock market crashed. If you bought Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon, Nvidia, all those companies, all those profitable companies, if you bought them when those companies dropped, right? If you did, when they were down like 20%, 20%, 30%, even some even went down 40%. You bought them and you just held on. Right now you're sitting pretty. Let's not even go that far. Let's go right back to Liberation Day, the tariff, the whole tariffs debacle. When they dropped, if you bought at those low, and all you had to do was just for a couple of months, it just hold. 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, you would have quadrupled your money. So when those drops happen, right? When those drops happen, they are opportunities. Now, this is the thing I'm going to give you guys for free. Again, I know we still have the charts. We're gonna go into the charts, guys. This is the thing I wanna give you guys. This is like some free game. All right. So when you guys have these things, and I'm gonna go on the chart as well because we gotta keep moving with the charts. When you guys do that, or the way I execute those things, don't buy with every single penny you have because you don't know where the bottom is, right? You buy a little bit, you leave some money on the side in case it drops lower, you can add to what you already bought. So you DCA in. If it's going up, that's okay. That means you got a good price to start with. You wait, when it goes up, it does another pullback, you buy again. Every time it does a nice pullback, you buy again. That's the way you do it. It is very, very keep it like that. You keep it simple, and you're going to be just fine. That I can absolutely, absolutely guarantee you. All right. Anyway, going right back into the charts with you guys. This is the 30 minutes what we are doing. Let's take a look at the this right now. What do we have? This is what I was warning about yesterday. As of right now, we are making a lower high that's bearish divergence in the MACD, but we still have a little hope. What hope do we have? This is not yet negative. All right, this is not yet negative. This is where this is. It's not negative yet. When we are in negative territory, which is like below here, this and we have that death cross happen. This is typically when we're in trouble. As of right now, we still have a bit of a possibility where we might do something like that. We still have that. That would make a higher high, and we can squeeze higher. So that's the bullish scenario. But as of right now, if I had to take something going into tomorrow, I would say right now this is a very good. I would give that a good a 60-40 of a down day for tomorrow. This is again, it's unfortunate I didn't get a chance to buy my put positions, but you know what? We deal with what we have. This is what we have. Hey, we just gonna work with it. All right, let's go in the Qs. The Qs performed pretty much the same. All it did, once again, all the Qs did was go, and it could not take the resistance level. So this is what this is. Again, so it's the exact same pattern. If you look at even the MACD, you look at the MACD, it's doing the exact same thing. So this is why I don't have to go too much over the Qs. It is the exact same thing. Just for a clearer picture, I just want to see exactly what the SPX is doing. The SPX is actually doing something very, very interesting right now. So I'm paying attention to that as well because what the SPX is doing right now is very, very interesting. Okay, I have to update my right there. We ride at this is where we are. Look at that. How beautiful is that? We are literally right there. That's the S&P 500, the SPX. Most of us don't trade the SPX because you need a lot of money to trade the SPX. We mostly trade the SPY, which is still the S&P 500, or you trade futures, which is the ES or ES1, as some of you guys knows it. As usual, we're gonna take a quick look at Bitcoin to see what we are doing. I'm think I might nickname Bitcoin Mr. Dead Money at this point. Again, what's showing here is dead money. It showed that it was giving a bit of a little life, and it seems like it's trying to just take that from us right from underneath us right now. This is not promising. That's some heavy selling that happened. That's not very promising. Going in the 4 hour time frame, the only good thing is the fact that we've not lost this trend line yet. All right. Taking a look at the 30 minutes. This is what's worrisome. So the 30 minutes give us like a triple top, right? So we had a triple top in the 30 minutes. And even that triple top can be used as what? You can say this whole thing here, this round thing, is a head. Left shoulder is there, right shoulder is being formed. So we're about to have a head and shoulders pattern once again. So when we have those, this is all these things are trouble, right? Okay. Now let's take a quick look at the VIX. Is the VIX coming back to life? It seems like the VIX is hanging in there, but it's not really spiking yet. So that's the good news. The VIX is not spiking yet, but it's unfortunately it's still hanging in there. It does not want to give up. VIX does not want to give up, still hanging in there. Um, that's the daily. Let's dig in 4 hour time frame. Digging in the 4 hour time frame again. We still at the neckline. We are at the neckline, and this pretty much staying here now. If these there's two different plays that's showing up again. I want to remind you guys of that again. So we have a possible head and shoulder pattern, right? Right now we at the neckline, but the more recent move that maybe that I see developing as well is a double bottom. Down, up, push down. That's a double bottom. So that's the other thing we might be doing with the VIX. All right, so just pay attention to that. Have your levels ready and watch this thing like a hawk. If we go again, now this is oil, right? Crude oil, which since we were here when we did that pullback, I told you guys, it seems to me all we are doing is a bull flag, and that's what we did, and we sort of like broke out. At the time, I was calling that bull flag ever since we were right around 93. We are now 20 points higher on this. I don't remember if the person who asked that question about oil, well, do I think oil was still going up? If you're still here, man, I hope you took that trade. Unfortunately, I don't really trade oil like that. Um, so I did not take that play myself, but this is something that I saw coming, and based on what I'm looking at right here, it does not seem like this is slowing down anytime soon. And based on the news coming out of the Middle East, again, you cannot ignore the geopolitical issues, right? Based on the news coming out of the Middle East, this does not seem like something that's about to slow down. As of right now, it literally just doesn't. And if you really pay attention, you can see what we just did here is an inverted head and shoulder pattern, and we are trying to squeeze up. Again, that is the 30 minutes, but this is what we are looking at in the 30 minutes. Let me see what the MACD is saying. Yep, MACD is curling up and still grinding up. It's not pushing up like big one, but it is slowly but surely. It is squeezing a little higher, constantly squeezing a little higher. If you are here again, I want you guys to remember, please smash the like button for me. Let me see how we're doing. All right. Yeah, we do have a few people who have already smashed the like buttons, guys. Do that for me. If you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the chat. I will be more than happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. So the quick bonus I'm gonna give you guys today is just taking a quick look at a couple of stock, and this is going to be done very, 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 very quick. Let's see. The one I wanted to look at is Tesla. You guys already know. I told you guys when I had my puts on Tesla. All right, that was right there when I had my puts on Tesla. It did this. He pulled back. I didn't panic. When he did that, when he did that, there was no panic, and now we actually just made a new low. Now, why did we make a new low? And this was something I drew for you guys, and I saw this level, and we stayed right there for a very, very, very long time. I can see Tesla going lower, and this is my reasoning. Besides, obviously, the chart is showing us that hey, we are at a this is the level we are right now. I think we're about halfway. Depending on how things go tomorrow, how fast we drop, I may just take some profit. I'm going to put some stop losses to make sure, hey, this thing does not come back on me. But Tesla is actually selling less and less cars. This is a car company. As a matter of fact, I believe they just suspended car production altogether. I don't care if somebody want to say, well, Tesla is not just a car company. Tesla is also what's the thing they're winning with right now? Tesla is also is mostly a tech company. Which tech has Tesla put out? It's not ready. So if it's not ready and they're not making cars, how they supposed to make money? I get it. They making money. I guess you can say on the software that they sell on those cars, but they not it's not growing. You not If you're not getting new drivers, that means you are not getting new subscription with those Teslas. You need to increase the subscription. And why has that been done is because their deliveries has been really really bad. Let me see. I think that does not really show like in here. I believe they reported delivery numbers today. Yeah. So this is yep. They had the weakest delivery numbers in a year, guys. I'm not sure what's going on here, guys. Like my light just keep turning on. Let me just check that. Give me one quick second. Okay, I think my light just blew out, so we're just going to let that be. Just going to continue with this like that. That is interesting. All right. Yeah. So Tesla is dealing. This is the thing that Tesla is currently dealing with. They delivered 358,000 vehicle, which was below estimates, and that's the weakest quarter they've had in a year. They seen softer demands. This is why again they are trying to lower prices. They lost some of their federal tax credits, which really, really, really affect Tesla in a negative way. They actually report on the 22nd, so their earnings report is coming up. I just don't see. I just don't see exactly how they're going to turn that around. Because you could say it's a robotics company or whatever it is that you want to come up with. They are not selling robots. All right, let's be frank about that. They are not selling robots. All right, again, so that's Tesla. Let's take a quick look at Google. Google is trying to bounce. Google is bouncing, and there's a possible inverted head and shoulder pattern being formed in Google. So we'll see if we can keep pushing with that. Apple found some support right at this level, found some support in trying to push up. Microsoft, I think, has the highest risk to reward ratio simply because Microsoft has dropped so much. I can just remove all of those in the chart simply because Microsoft has dropped so much. So if we take that from the top, which was around 553, pull that all the way to the bottom, that's a 35% drop on Microsoft. I don't think any of you guys think Microsoft will go out of business anytime soon. I don't think any of us think Microsoft will be going out of business. So this is what I'm talking about when I'm talking about finding great companies, right? Great companies that actually productive companies that are making a lot of profit, but they've been having a really rough time and they have dropped. All right, it's those companies. Take a look at Amazon. Again, I can remove all of these things so I have to withdraw those charts again. Amazon have dropped. I call that head and shoulder pattern being formed right there and give us a triple top and we drop. Now, is Amazon just doing a bit of a bear flag? Is that what's happening, or are we finding a bottom and consolidating before we make a push up? We shall see. Well, all right, guys, it's 9:37. My lights even went out on me, telling me, "Hey, you know what, Lord? It is time to go." For those of you guys that's part of the community, I will be on Teams live right after this. Once again, I will be on Teams right after this. And for those of you guys right here, I really appreciate you guys. The little speech that I like to give you guys typically right toward the end of the live, I can't do it today, guys. I have no lights. You won't be you will not be able to see me. It's just going to look weird. So we're just not going to do that. I'm going to bid you guys farewell. Have a good night. Take care. But as usual, we cannot forget. Tomorrow it is the same thing. It is still POP, process over profit. You follow your process, the profit will follow. All right. Don't jump on moving trains. Take your time. If you miss a play, wait for the next one. And most of all, it is get in, get green, and get out. Peace out, guys. Have a good night. I will see you guys on the live tomorrow. Hopefully by then, I already have my lights fixed. All right, guys. Take care. Peace.